It's been strange because I was the first person that actually told her, something is wrong with you, you're sick, go to a doctor. And we fought for 2 years.
Eldest daughter Aimee made a rare public appearance. Throughout the ceremony, she and her younger sister Kelly barely interacted. Not even a glance was
I have to have a nurse with me now everywhere I go. It's just, I'm burden to my wife, burden to everybody that works for me. I mean, I've never been like this in my life.
Sharon wasn't taking care of Ozzy. She was milking him. That's the kind of dirty truth nobody in the Osbourne clan dares to speak, until Aimee Osbourne just dropped it like a bomb. Everybody knows Kelly and Jack, but here's the part they never talk about. The first child, Aimee. And there's a reason her name stays buried. Aimee was only 16 when she packed her bags and bounced from the family mansion. All because she refused to be part of their scripted, messy reality TV circus. And even at Ozzy's funeral, the whole crew acted like she didn't exist, walking right past her like she was a stranger in her own bloodline. All thanks to Sharon's cold moves. Now Aimee is blasting her mom, claiming Sharon used Ozzy's failing health in his final years to push deals, plans, and moves he never truly stood behind. And she swears this isn't gossip. She's got receipts. Aimee says the public has no clue who Sharon really is, that she burned bridges, cut out allies, and played everyone around Ozzy like pawns. Sure, Sharon does a few nice deeds here and there, but Aimee says that's just the cover-up. So the real question is this just a daughter with old grudges, or is she pulling the mask off the real Sharon Osbourne? Ozzy Osbourne is gone, and now the family skeletons are falling out the closet fast. What's really setting the internet on fire is Aimee Osbourne putting her own mom, Sharon, on blast, accusing her of using Ozzy in his final years, twisting his mental decline into a tool for her own gain, and even slipping her own political opinions into his mouth like they were his. Fans online are now saying they finally see it, that Sharon's been the puppet master all along, pushing her own agenda while Ozzy was too weak to fight back. And yet people are asking why Aimee stayed quiet until now, but she's saying she's been biting her tongue for years and she's done protecting Sharon. According to Aimee, Sharon turned Ozzy's illness into a weapon, controlling who got near him, making shady medical decisions, and keeping up this picture-perfect rock legend image for the cameras while Ozzy was barely holding on. We all knew Ozzy was battling Parkinson's, but Aimee claims the real drama was what went down behind closed doors. Sharon acting like a loving wife in public, but allegedly running the entire empire in private. Insiders have been hinting at this for years, but nobody wanted to call Sharon out until now. Aimee's Instagram just dropped what looked like a warning shot, and it's got fans and industry people whispering, was Sharon using Ozzy's sickness as her ultimate power play? Aimee, a singer-songwriter in her own right, just hinted she's about to blow the whole Osbourne saga wide open, posting, "Scorn a siren, see what happens," and the timing says it all. With Ozzy gone, Aimee isn't holding back anymore. She says she's ready to expose what she calls the real sickness in the family, and she's not talking about Parkinson's. But right after her post went viral, the Osbourne house turned into a battlefield. Sharon's been stone cold silent in public, but insiders swear the behind-the-scenes drama is chaos. Word is, Sharon even pushed Kelly and Jack to publicly side against Aimee, turning this into a full-blown family war. Just days before Ozzy passed, Jack went on the Disrespectfully podcast and took shots at Aimee, saying she's not really part of the family. He even dragged up old history, throwing shade over the fact she refused to join their reality TV circus as a teen. But Aimee's never been ashamed of that decision. In a sit-down with Barbara Walters years ago, she made it clear, "My private life to me is very important, so it didn't feel right because my whole life, everything's been so exposed." Now it seems that privacy is over, and Aimee's about to make the Osbournes' dirtiest secrets very, very public. Aimee says she's finally at a point in her life where she can make her own choices. But Sharon didn't care about that when Aimee was 16. Back then, her teenage daughter told her straight up she wasn't comfortable with cameras filming every corner of their home, catching every private moment, and Sharon's answer let her move out on her own. No hesitation. Sure, the Osbournes have always been loud, messy, and public, but this feels different. Aimee's never been one to wade into the family soap opera until now, and she's not pulling punches. She's basically calling Sharon the villain, accusing her of putting Ozzy through hell just so she could keep the crown and control the throne. What's wild is how this blows the cover off Sharon's real game. She's been the face and backbone of the Osbourne empire for decades, managing Ozzy's career, their reality shows, and every dollar that came in. But now the question hanging in the air is brutal. Was she truly protecting Ozzy or just guarding her own empire? Fans are split right down the middle. Some believe Aimee's finally telling the truth after years of watching her father fade, while others think this is just family beef spilling out in public. But here's the thing. Once you start looking at Sharon's past moves, it gets darker, way darker. Industry insiders, from producer Max Norman to Ozzy's own former bandmates, have claimed Sharon cut people out of money, took credit for work she didn't do, and ran the show like she owned everyone in it. And now Aimee's saying Ozzy wasn't spared from that same playbook. Producer Max Norman says Sharon wasn't just managing Ozzy, she was pulling strings that cut deep. According to him, her involvement is exactly what got Ozzy's bassist Bob Daisley and drummer Lee Kerslake cut out of the publishing money they were owed and eventually pushed straight out of the band. Norman said, "That's a very weird situation and they both got shafted pretty badly." He remembers them constantly asking, "What's going on with the publishing?" At first, Norman stayed out of it, but once Sharon stepped in, things got ugly fast. By the end of Ozzy's second record, the bassist and drummer still hadn't seen their publishing checks. Then came the call from Sharon, "We want to replace the bass and drums." And just like that, the axe fell. But it didn't stop there. Sharon's micromanaging wasn't limited to Ozzy's band. She was out here starting fires with other artists too, like the infamous Iron Maiden incident, where she allegedly paid fans to pelt the band with eggs. This wasn't some rock and roll prank, it was calculated sabotage. The stunt went down in 2005 at Ozzfest, when Iron Maiden's set was pulling more energy from the crowd than Ozzy's. Sharon, running every inch of Ozzy's career at the time, saw it as a threat. And in true Sharon fashion, she didn't compete. She went for the jugular. Sharon saw Iron Maiden getting the louder crowd reaction, and to her, that was a crime. In her mind, nobody was supposed to upstage Ozzy at his festival. So what did she do? She allegedly loaded the front rows at certain shows with fans holding cartons of eggs, and later bragged about it, even saying she paid 200 Hispanic kids to pelt the band mid-performance. The wildest part? Ozzy had no idea any of this was happening. This was all Sharon's play. Iron Maiden, for their part, didn't take the bait. Their manager, Rod Smallwood, refused to go back and forth, saying Sharon's stunt didn't even deserve the dignity of a reply. But he did call the whole fiasco disgraceful, adding that in over 30 years and hundreds of gigs, he'd never seen anything so disgusting and unprofessional. And what did Sharon do? Apologize? Not a chance. She kept doubling down, trashing Iron Maiden in interviews, calling frontman Bruce Dickinson an effing a hole, and claiming he was jealous of Ozzy. The kicker? Ozzy never said any of that. Those were Sharon's words coming from her mouth as if she spoke for him. It wasn't just with bands either. Sharon had a habit of making shocking public statements that crossed major lines. In 2007, she stunned people by talking about a suicide pact with Ozzy. Instead of keeping something that heavy private, she put it out like a tabloid headline. And that's not even the worst dirt floating around her name. Some of you remember when Sharon got booted off the talk after serious allegations surfaced, claims she used racist and homophobic slurs toward her own co-hosts Julie Chen and Sarah Gilbert. And this wasn't some one-time slip of the tongue. Insiders said it was the real Sharon showing her true colors behind the scenes. And just like always, no apology, no accountability, just straight up nasty behavior and gaslighting anyone who called her out. So when Aimee steps forward accusing Sharon of exploiting Ozzy, it's not some random grudge. It fits perfectly into the bigger pattern. This is the same woman who once admitted she sent her assistant into a burning house to save artwork during a fire, then fired him afterward for not laughing about it. Sharon spins these twisted moments like they're funny stories, and sadly, people in her circles often ate it up. See, Sharon's always told these stories to the kind of rich, disconnected crowd that finds cruelty entertaining. She doesn't seem to get that regular working folks would be horrified imagining themselves in that assistant's place, and if anything, she's only gotten colder with age. Case in point, just days after Ozzy passed, instead of grieving or pulling her family closer, Sharon was out making disturbing, tone-deaf comments about starving people in the Middle East and genocide. Like, imagine your husband just died, and 48 hours later you're chasing controversy instead of mourning. And for those who forgot, there's still the messy rumor of her ties to Diddy. She even tried pushing her own daughter Kelly to link up with him. But that's not even the strangest part, because the whispers say Sharon's got knowledge about the oil that could flip this whole story upside down. That's strange enough. But here's where it gets even stranger. When all those bombshell allegations about Diddy came out, Sharon suddenly played dumb, acting like she barely knew him and claiming they came from two completely different worlds, which makes you wonder if Aimee Osbourne's just scratching the surface. What's buried underneath? Because if this is how shameless Sharon can be in public, then whatever she's keeping in the shadows might be darker than anything the public's ready to handle. With Ozzy gone, the gloves are off, and Aimee's words have cracked the Osbourne family's glossy image wide open. For years, Sharon's been painted as the strong, loving wife holding everything together, but the stories, the receipts, and the whispers tell a different tale, one of control, manipulation, and ruthless self-preservation. From cutting out Ozzy's bandmates to staging public humiliation stunts, from cruel behind-the-scenes moves to jaw-dropping public statements, Sharon's history reads less like a loving partner's legacy and more like a ruthless operator's playbook. And now, thanks to Aimee, fans are starting to see the pattern. The smiling face on TV hiding a whole empire built on power plays. The real question isn't just what Sharon's done, it's what's still hidden. Because if the public version of Sharon is already this cold, what's locked away behind closed doors might be too dark for daylight. We'll be watching this story closely. Because once these family walls start cracking, the truth has a way of spilling fast. And when it does, you know BarzBuzz will be right here breaking it down first. So hit that like button, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Is Aimee finally pulling the mask off Sharon Osbourne? Or is this just another messy family feud gone public?